Hello and welcome to the Discover Dayton podcast, the show that's all about the Gem City's past, present, and future. I'm your host, Arch Grieve, and today's episode is our weekly news roundup for April 9th, 2022. For these episodes, I read the news so you don't have to. In today's episode, we have a lot to cover, including a possible new lease on life for a shuttered downtown Dayton hotel, news about Ohio's redistricting process, and the introduction of a new Don't Say Gay bill, as well as local events and things to do, so stay tuned. Kicking off the news this week is some good news for a shuttered former Dayton hotel, which may be getting new life as an apartment building with Prohibition-era themed entertainment, as well as bowling and a steakhouse. The former Dayton Grand Hotel, which was also known for a time as the Algonquin Hotel, is located across the street from City Hall. Developers are hoping to invest $23 million into turning the old hotel into 103 new apartments, although they say that construction would hinge in part on whether or not they receive the $5 million they are seeking in historic preservation tax credits. Developers say the apartments would be high-end and would range from studios to two-bedroom units. Dayton is going to be getting a new private school this fall as the Greater Dayton School opens with 100 students this August. The school is designed to cater to students who live in households suffering from generational poverty, and the first classes will be for students in grades K through 3. The application process is currently underway, and the school will open in downtown Dayton at Deeds Point. While construction on the school's building has begun, it will not be completed by August when the school opens, so students will attend classes in a building near Sinclair. The per-pupil funding, which is expected to be around $30,000 per student, will come mostly from the Connor Group Kids and Community Partners, with a fee of just under $400 per student coming from parents. The City of Dayton is currently accepting applicants for its Neighborhood Leadership Institute, which is a 13-week leadership program for Dayton residents where participants attend a variety of workshops in which they learn about Dayton's history, city government, the criminal justice system, cultural diversity, and more. The deadline to apply is tomorrow, and you can do so online at daytonohio.gov. The Ohio Department of Transportation is committing $138 million in spending on projects in southwest Ohio, including here in Dayton. ODOT held its construction kickoff recently at the intersection of Needmore and Brant Pike, which has been identified as one of the 150 most dangerous intersections in the state. At the kickoff, speakers warned about the dangers of road construction and urged motorists to use caution and be alert while driving through construction zones, as 70 crews have been hit by motorists already this year. The Ohio Statehouse is considering a bill that is similar to Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, although Ohio's version goes even further than Florida's by also limiting teachers' ability to talk about racism and other divisive subjects. If implemented, the bill would create a complaint process for individuals to submit complaints about teachers or administrators who violate the rules, and those individuals could lose their state teaching licenses or see their state funding be eliminated. The bill, which is House Bill 616, would make it illegal to discuss topics such as critical race theory, intersectional theory, the 1619 Project, and diversity and inclusion learning outcomes. The Ohio Education Association has labeled the bill reprehensible on every level. The bill has not yet been referred to committee. The Dayton RTA is considering a number of measures to deal with recent drops in ridership and a driver shortage. The RTA reported that ridership was down 50% in January of 2022 versus what it was in 2020 before the pandemic. As a result, the RTA is weighing whether to reduce services, raise fares, and/or change routes. They are in the midst of gathering input on the proposed changes, so you can weigh in by sending an email to speakup@greaterdaytonrta.org or by calling 937-425-8339, now through April 15th. In better RTA news, the RTA recently upped the pay for starting drivers by over $1 an hour to $18 per hour for new drivers, starting with a CDL. They will also see a 35% increase in federal funding thanks to an infrastructure bill that was passed earlier this year, which will amount to about $41.6 million, which the RTA says will go mostly towards capital improvements. The Ohio legislative redistricting process continues to be in turmoil as some members of the Redistricting Commission argued this week that they cannot be held in contempt as they are an independent legislative body. While the case continues to be in flux at the Ohio Supreme Court, judges in a separate case that's in the 6th U.S. District Court of Appeals hinted that they will almost certainly impose a map for the elections unless the situation is resolved by April 20th. So for now, it's still unclear as to when Ohio voters will get to select their primary candidates in the Ohio House of Representatives and Ohio Senate races. Meanwhile, local boards of elections continue to worry about the cost and their ability to staff poll workers for 2 primary elections, not to mention the impact it will have on voter turnout. 52-year-old Andre Harrington is on trial for the shooting of another Daytonian last weekend with a rifle. He's being charged with felonious assault and having weapons while under a disability. The 42-year-old victim of the attack is expected to recover. The Montgomery County Landbank has applied for $14.7 million in state funding to go along with a local match of $4.9 million to go towards the demolition of 263 residential and 25 commercial properties in the county, with 174 of those properties being in the city of Dayton. Some of the money would also go towards remediation of some sites, such as the Dayton Arcade, which still contains asbestos in its northern section. If awarded the money, it would increase the amount of funds Dayton plans to spend on demolition, although it has already promised to spend over $16 million of the $138 million it received through federal rescue funds on demolition as well. Famed Dayton historian Margaret Peters has died at the age of 86. Peters was honored by the Dayton Peace Museum as a peace hero in 2012 and was an educator, historian, and writer who fought for civil rights throughout her lifetime. She was the author of the Ebony Book of Black Achievement and Dayton's African American Heritage, and taught in the Dayton public school system for many years. The Wright-Dunbar Neigborhood was the target of a cleanup organized by Dayton Inspires last weekend, with over 100 volunteers visiting the local historic district to pick up trash and debris. Organizers say that they collected hundreds of bags of trash, and the volunteers consisted of community members and over 50 UD students. Many thanks to them for helping to beautify our city's streets. Wheatpenny chef and partner Elizabeth Valenti recently competed in an international cooking competition in Las Vegas at the International Pizza Expo, where she took second place in the category of International Italian Sandwich Competition. The award-winning sandwich is on the menu at Wheatpenny if you want to try it, and Chef Valenti was also the recipient of last year's Nourishing the Community Award given out by the Ohio Restaurant Association, which recognizes an individual for their outstanding contributions through community service or charitable involvement. The Dayton NAACP is hosting a Meet the Judicial Candidates Night tonight at 6 p.m., where several candidates for Montgomery County Common Pleas Court Judge will be in attendance. The forum will be live streamed on the Dayton Unit NAACP's Facebook page. And finally, if you're a fan of Callery pear trees, you might want to plant them sooner rather than later, as they will be banned from being sold or planted in Ohio starting in January of next year. The tree species is invasive to the state, and Ohio is going to be the first state to ban it in the country. That's your news update for this past week, but here's what's coming up. The 13th annual Spring into Health 5K is happening tomorrow, Sunday, April 10th. Money raised at the event goes to support the Good Neighbor House, which provides food support and dental and medical services to those in need. Visit speedy-feet.com for more info about the race. The Dayton Philharmonic String Quartet is playing at the Dayton Art Institute tomorrow, April 10th, and will be performing the show Sunday with Schumann and Shostakovich, which I'm sure I mispronounced. The cost to attend is $24, and tickets can be purchased at DaytonLive.org. The Loft Theater will be hosting a performance of Katie Forget's play Incident at Our Lady of Perpetual Help, performed by the Human Race Theater Company. The play is set in the 1970s and is a comedy. Ticket prices range from $17 to $53 and are available at DaytonLive.org. The California band Tempest, which features Scottish and Norwegian-influenced Celtic rock, will be performing tonight at the Yellow Cab Tavern. Tickets are $15 in advance or $20 at the door. Details are available at yellowcabtavern.com. Tomorrow, April 10th, the Paul Laurence Dunbar House Visitor Center will be host to the Dunbar Literary Circle, which takes place every second Sunday of the month at 2 p.m. The event is free and open to the public. In other literary news, the Dayton Metro Library is hosting its monthly LGBTQIA+ book club event on Monday, April 11th at the main library conference room 3A on the third floor of the main branch from 7 to 8:30 p.m. The book this month is Maurice by E.M. Forster, and the event is free and open to the public. Professor Emeritus Dr. Herbert Martin of the University of Dayton will be performing a show Beyond the Years, Paul Laurence Dunbar, to celebrate 150 years since the poet's birth this Wednesday at the Schuster Center. Tickets are $6 and are available at DaytonLive.org. On Thursday, the Bright Moments Quintet are performing at the Dayton Art Institute as part of their Bob Ross Auto Group Jazz and Beyond series. Tickets are available at DaytonArtInstitute.org and are $15, although the event is free to DAI members. Award-winning landscape architect Thomas L. Waltz is coming to the Dayton Art Institute on April 20th to speak at the Garden Club of Dayton's Centennial Celebration. The lecture starts at 10 a.m. and is free and open to the public, but you do have to have a reservation in order to attend. Visit gardenclubofdayton.org for event details and registration. On April 24th, Sueño will be hosting From Dayton with Love, a fundraising concert for Ukraine. Event entry is $10, and the performances will include a number of artists, including Brother Hill, Benya Stewart, and Siarzuk Dohushwa, which I probably also butchered. There will also be a belly dancing performance by Lily Detour of Gem City Burlesque, fire dancing from Aurora Fire, and Eastern European wines and cocktails. Visit sueñodyt.com for tickets. That's it for the news this week, but if you enjoy receiving these updates, please subscribe to the show and leave a show review and share this episode with a friend. Also, I'm excited to announce that we now have Discover Dayton merch, so you can visit discoverdaytonpodcast.com and select the merch drop-down option on the menu to find out how to purchase a mug, t-shirt, hoodie, or tank top featuring the Discover Dayton logo, designed by my wife, local Dayton artist Amanda Grieve. Thanks for listening, and stay funky, Dayton.